search services rest.
Okay, so just tell me.
It's battery powered, lithium polymer batteries, all electric. The wings are carbon Kevlar lined, foam core centers. High resolution still, so high resolution 10 megapixel plus digital imagery.
Okay.
And I can also do real time streaming video.
Okay. What are you're doing today?
High resolution still imagery.
Okay.
Yeah.
How heavy?
What we're going to do is we're going to remain completely mobile, so we'll just be operating out of our vehicle.
Oh,
so
okay.
we have nothing that we need to set up. We're just portable laptop, portable computer systems in the aircraft.
How you release it? Oh, you hold it in your hand and.
It's a hand launch.
Oh, it's a hand launch.
Hand launched. And we do that for very specific reasons in the manufacturing of it, because our whole goal of them is to build them, make them small, but build them so we can turn around and train law enforcement agencies, fire agencies, anybody to really use this equipment.
Right.
We have law enforcement agency in Chicago that's using them, high elevation rescue team in the Rockies that's using them, Scripps Institute of Oceanography is using the aircraft. There's quite a few out there.
So that's the front, huh?
Yeah, this is this.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's rear propped, rear driven.
Uh,
Because when we're doing searches, we do it in like a grid type pattern where we search very specific areas. Reason being is if we find something in the imagery, it's much easier to go through the imagery and be able to detect, okay, based on the GPS coordinates, yes, this is the area we just flew. So we do like half-mile hops is basically what we'll be flying today. What we'll do is if we're going through the imagery, if anything of interest comes up, we'll just immediately defer it over back to law enforcement, and then they'll go and handle it. We don't do any type of forensic things. We don't go out and identify targets. We just something of interest, alert them immediately, give them the GPS coordinates of it, and then they handle the rest of it.
Okay.
All the imagery, the still imagery with this system, everything is captured on board the aircraft.
Oh, really?
There's no data transmission down.
Oh, okay.
If we're flying the video system, then we have the real-time video stream coming back down to a control station.
Okay.
With these types of searches, when we work in these, is we do not use the video. The still imagery is much more valuable.
Really? Okay.
The video is used more for in active searches if it's victims been missing for 24 or 48 hours, where there's potential that they're still out there.
looking
we
for
can
movement.
implement some of our other technology, the forward-looking infrared, the FLIR type system, for heat detection, and some other capabilities where the video becomes a real crucial part. But the video is used more for if we do any type of fire-based responses. We're looking at active fire lines, flooding, things of that nature. Then we do the mosaic aspect. So when we're done with this case, we'll turn to law enforcement and hand them a complete mosaic aspect of all the areas that we search, so they have that for an updated reference, along with the individual still imagery.
Like your mosaic imagery, would you send all parties involved a copy of that, or does that only go to law enforcement?
Initially, everything will be going directly to law enforcement, since it is an active investigation, and so working directly with them. So the gentleman that we work with, who's based out of Texas, a gentleman named Gene Robinson, he's been doing it for about 7 years now.
Okay. And he builds the planes?
Yeah, he has the full manufacturing. The company, RP Flight Systems, which is the company that does the manufacturing of the aircraft, RP Search Services is its nonprofit wing that comes out and does the search and rescue work, search and recovery work, along with other community-based volunteer type efforts that we do. So we were looking at a independently produced, basically a non-classified system that we could take and go and work with NGO responses in times of disaster, go out and work with law enforcement, fire agencies, all of those types of people. And then also being able to apply it to things where it's really, really important, cases like this, the search that we finished yesterday in San Diego, the Chelsea King case, the Amber Dubois case, a lot of the other ones we've been involved in. So it's a really key, important place that we're really trying to drive the industry, and really trying to drive the FAA and all the governmental regulation aspects to realize that they need to allow this type of work to go on, because that's our biggest. When we just finished up the Chelsea King case, we got phone calls from people back in DC wanting to know how we get different federal agencies wanting to know how we got authorization. It's like, we don't get authorization, we just go and do it because it needs to be done.
What is it, of course, in the case of Mitrice, I mean, she's been missing for quite some time, and if she is out here, the likelihood is that she may not be with us. What is it? Would the image pick up to let us know, like, if her remains were there?
We're able to pick up items as small as a tennis shoe or other personal effects. Other searches we've been on, we've actually been able to recover the victim several weeks after they went missing, based on the location of different personal items. A lot of times when we go through and we're looking for the imagery, is we're not necessarily looking for a specific object. We're looking for anything, especially in a natural environment, just things that don't belong,
Right.
things that are out of place. And we found that in other searches, it could be, you know, a soda bottle, a soda can, it could be anything. But again, anything that's found out there has the potential of being some type of evidentiary item. Could actually lead to something.
Did you know she had a pink belt?
No, that's one thing when we
All right.
talk to the
Right.
officer, we're going to find a
Just
full clothing
to be sure,
description,
yeah.
any other belongings. that
Yeah, she had a
with her.
pink belt and like a beige or brown, like a Rasta tam, knit cap,
Okay.
which nobody's seen yet, and white colored Vans or light colored Vans,
Okay.
shoes on. So
Some of
And
probably just for our own anxiety, and I just feel compelled. I hate
Go
to
ahead.
jump in there, but I'm very anxious about this.
Yes.
And there were some things that were released in the original that were not released in the original police report that we did see. So since we've seen the video, we're able to notice things that were never released to us. Not necessarily intentionally not released, but just for whatever. So as Chip was saying, the hat, it was either light brown or dark brown. It looked different in the video depending on where she was standing. Certainly there was a pink belt. She had on a dark colored shirt, but underneath it she had like on a longer, you know how the girls are wearing the double shirts?
Yeah.
So there was a longer white shirt that we weren't even aware that she even had that before, so we just learned that last week, as well as her sneakers, which were white.
They look like white canvas
They look like
Vans
white
type,
canvas Vans.
and jeans that had some type of decorative
In the
pocket in the back.
and then
And-
the T-shirt was Bob Marley,
Yeah.
black Bob Marley T-shirt.
Also, she had a bag in
So
her
you're looking
hand.
for Bob.
Yeah. She had like a plastic, like baggie where I guess they had her belongings. So,
Okay.
so I just want you to know that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, those are all very key, important things for us to know before we even go out. Like thoroughly canvassed an area, we'd rather go if it's a very terrain area they didn't get into or they weren't able to.
A search for someone to be asked to do a demonstration before the task at hand gets started.
Anytime that we go out, there's always an interest by, especially with media, that they want to see what it can do. Because generally when we go out and work in the field, we don't, we just like to keep it, as small crude as possible. Because then we have other people out with us, we have media out with us and stuff. The region on the map, but that's what I want to talk to you.